fresh off winning his third UAP men's basketball title with the Ateneo Blue Eagles, head coach Tab Baldwin is already looking forward to season 83. Even with Ateneo losing 5 seniors, including third-year Ravenna, Coach Tab knows that he still has a great team next season. And what hesitate to talk about Ateneo's championship and Ateneo's future is now 3-time UAP champion coach of the Blue Eagles, Coach Tab Baldwin. Coach, welcome back and congratulations.
Thanks, Miko. Great to be here.
Were we right? Were we right in saying that you're already looking forward to having a great team next season?
I'm looking forward to the coaching challenge of next season, and I think that when I look at the pool of players that we have that are the prospects for the team, I think that we can be very excited.
What makes you use the word great describing the potential for next year?
Oh, I don't use that word very often. I mean, I think all of us have great potential, right? And a team has great potential. I think we use it far too much talking in the past tense, like that was a great person, that was a great game, that was a great season. Yeah, it's an overused word, but certainly in terms of potential, I think we have some things to be really excited about.
And I wonder if you had things to be excited about the first time you took on this task, this calling to be a college coach in the Philippines. Did you have any vision, a gut feel, an image that when you said yes, that you could be looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 UAP championships?
Not at all. It was not a job I sought. It was an assignment more than really a job offer, and I really didn't have any tremendous enthusiasm for taking on the role, and I knew virtually nothing about the team, the university, the league. I learned pretty quickly, but there really wasn't anything to be excited about. I had a great job coaching Gilas, and so that's where all my focus was and my attention. And so to have to, take on this challenge, and every coaching job is a challenge, I knew that. But to take on this challenge was not something that I was striving for, to be honest.
And now that you have just finished a three-peat, when you look back at the 3 years, how much have you grown? I mean, as a coach, as a person, even your relationship with the UAP?
Dramatically, and I would say vastly for the better. And it has been a metamorphosis in a sense, because the way that you coach the professionals, the way that you coach internationally really isn't going to have a lot of traction coaching these kids, because they just don't have the grounding in the game. They don't have the advanced knowledge. They don't have the fundamentals in many cases. So it was going back, like Back to the Future sort of thing, where I had to go back to the way that my dad coached in a lot of ways, very strict, disciplined environment, teaching of the fundamentals, teaching of the concepts of the game, and getting away from the management of players in the game, which is what we do more at the professional level. And at first it was, it still is very hard work, much harder than coaching at the professional level, but it's very gratifying because you can see improvement, and you work with guys that have a desire to improve, and we sell them on the idea of personal greatness, and when they buy into that, you really see the changes.
See, that's a thing that puzzles a lot of people, how you could convince, and I still don't know how you did it, how you can convince graduating players to make sacrifices, not go after stats. These are guys that are preparing to turn pro, preparing to go to the PBA, and the traditional thinking is when you're about to go to the PBA, you need your stats. But push your stock up and make people know that you have what it takes. And how did you convince graduating guys to take a step back, forego playing minutes, and really think of the team? Well,
yes and no. That's what it takes to convince the PBA coaches and the draft managers that's what they're looking for. I think the personal relationships with those people, I can talk to them and I can say, you're not going to get a player who has better stats that's going to be a better player than a 30 Ravenna or a Matt Nieto or et cetera, et cetera. You're going to get a better player with our guys even though they didn't put up the stats. And I absolutely believe that. So I don't think that you need the stats. The fallacy that we're dealing with here, you look at the mythical 5, and it's based on stats, and it doesn't have the best players in the UAAP in the mythical 5.
Does it irk you that not a single Ateneo player made it to the mythical team?
It doesn't irk me that my players don't get individual awards. It irks me that we use the wrong basis to determine what are the best players. I don't care about the individual awards. I do care about how our players are perceived, how they're seen, and when we're using faulty information to make those assessments, that irks me, yes. But to go back to your question, you don't have to sell players, I believe, on things that are right. I think you have to inform them, and we're blessed at Ateneo that we have intelligent guys. So when you lay it out before them and you talk about, you know, the legacy of success, the aspiration to greatness as a team, and basketball is still a team sport. It's not that hard for intelligent guys to buy into that. And you're going to see when the draft comes that these guys are not going to be shortchanged by the fact that they didn't have the stats or the label of mythical 5. You're going to see that.
People also saw that players through the last 4 years have learned so much from you. And people were saying, grabe si Coach Tab, ang dami niyang natuturo, you teach a lot to not just Ateneo players but to college basketball in general. But what have you learned? What have you learned from the players that you've coached in the last 4 years?
Well, let me say first that they don't learn exclusively from me. Our environment is extremely inclusive. So our entire coaching staff, which is a tremendous coaching staff, does a tremendous amount of teaching. But we also force our players to teach one another. So our environment isn't a dictatorial environment when it comes to learning.
So it's not your way or the highway?
It is my way or the highway, but that's not about learning.
Okay.
That's about a disciplined environment, and that's about structure. But when it comes to learning, we have an environment where we are all teachers and we are all students. So to your point, what did I learn from my players? I learned how to go back to teaching the elements of the game that make great players instead of make great teams. And I've found out, maybe I should have done this a long time ago, that by making great players, we end up with great teams. And it's something that shouldn't have eluded me in my career. And so now, yes, I'm a changed coach. I'm very much more dedicated to the individual player. So now it feels great to go out and recruit and to sit in front of a recruit and genuinely say, come join us and become the best that you can be. And in the meantime, look at our track record. It looks like it's a lot of fun, because it is. So the lessons for me have been how to use my coaching abilities to the best of my players.
Do you feel that people fully appreciate what it means to have the perfect season? I know you're going to say your team was not perfect, that your team still made mistakes. These kids are human. They're not robots. But a perfect season, a perfect record is a perfect record. Do you think people fully embrace the magnitude of what your players accomplished?
No, I don't think so, and maybe we don't either. I keep hearing the question, what's the formula, what's your secret to success? And when the answer is as simple, just outwork everybody and outsmart everybody, people can't grasp that it's that simple. They think that there's got to be something more to it. There isn't. There isn't any more to it than that, but they don't understand what that actually means, to outwork everybody. They don't understand what it means to put the time and effort into understanding the nature of our mistakes, the tendencies that lead to mistakes, and how we go about fixing those so that we don't continuously make the same mistakes. That process is a lot of sweat by a lot of people. And it's something that I think most people in the sports world probably don't pay enough attention to. And, you know, with the inception and the coming to fore of analytics, there's a lot more of that going on, but it's a slow process.
I wish I could talk to you for 3 more hours, but we're down to our final question. Coach Tab. I'm sure you've had your quiet moments after game 2, after the bonfire, after dinners and meetings with people who congratulate you. In your quiet time, when you're alone with your thoughts, what does this championship mean for you?
Probably a lot of things. I mean, it advances opportunity. It cements my position with our group, with the MVP group. It builds respect, respect for the success. But I think people appreciate the effort of our coaching staff and what we've done in our program. On a very personal level, I think of my father and my brother. The contributions they made to building me into the man I am, into the coach that I am, and they're gone now. They're in heaven with the Lord, and I can't say thank you the way that I would like to, but I certainly say thank you quite often to them. So on a lot of different levels, it's all positive. But I think the thing that I look forward to the most is each time I get an opportunity to be back together with the guys again. And we had dinner last night, so it was a lot of fun. And I cherish that because it won't last forever. And before you know it, we'll be looking at season 83's team, and it will start all over again.
I'm sure they cannot wait for your boot camp for season 83. I'm sure of that. Coach Tab Baldwin, champion coach, perfect season for 2019. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Nico.
Still ahead, we'll chat with the UAP's courtside reporters, and they will share their most memorable moments from season 82. So stay tuned.